it is very easy to edit and create new buttons in Ivocall depending of the type of campaign that you have. We're going to show that here. Now I've logged into Ivocall as an administrator, and I'm in the campaign management menu. I've clicked the settings and clicked the buttons menu here. And as you can see, we have some buttons here, and let's go and change some of them, and then look at it at the telemarketers window right now afterwards. But first, before we begin, please take a look at these buttons here, and let's just click very fast at the telemarketer menu, and you can see that the same buttons that you have here and that we are going to change are here. Now they're grayed out because I haven't started the dialer. So this is the buttons that we need going to change. The button name is if I click this button here called No Home, and I click, for example, 1.2, you can see it's actually changing there as well. Now the export code, this is the code that is added into the database. So the button name is what the telemarketer is can see, and the export code is what you actually add into your database. Sometimes it's the same thing, sometimes it's not, but you have the right to change it if you want to. We have some secondary buttons here, or status do buttons. We can take a look at the properties here. You can see that I've hidden this button here. We can delete it if we don't need it. We have a telephone answer machine that is also very good. But we need to when I right click each button, I get the properties of the button. Now this is a telephone answer machine. If I click this one here, you will see this icon here. Now this icon is the same in all the buttons, and it means that when the telemarketer click this button here, the dialer hangs up the line and opens a new line. So it goes very fast if you click this one here. All right. Wrong number. We have wrong number. I can export call it wrong number as well as this, and we have a special button here. Sometimes the telemarketer calls somebody who says, well, this person doesn't live here anymore, but call this number, and then you'll find him. And this is what this is for. Then you can actually, when you're still in that customer, you can just call the new customer right away, so you don't even have to change to change the customer card. The buttons here, you can almost see what it is. It means that we are closing the lead here. No number, telefax. We can add more buttons if we want again. And this is the same thing for all the buttons. Let's take a look at them. Close buttons, that means that we close the lead and you cannot call it further. You can close the lead with choose a button like this here, then the lead is closed. It is always also closed here, but the difference between those two are that you're having a dialogue here. For example, what does that mean in your statistics? It means that if you use this button here, then the statistics will say you have not a dialogue, and here it says, well, you closed it with a dialogue. It is good when you are creating reports afterwards, because you need to know, well, how many actually said no that I had a contact to. Where we could say that the lead was okay, everything was okay. Now, how was my contact percentage for that? And by using these two here, it is very easy to see in the statistics here. Rejection, you can hide it, you can unhide it. Appointment, it is if you have some kind of appointment with somebody who says, well, call me in 15 minutes, fine, you have somebody you can call them in 15 minutes. You can add new buttons here as well. You can say, I want a new one called, let's say, 20 minutes. So I add an extra button. I click back in X minutes. I said call 20 minutes. Call 20. And down here I say I I'm calling back in 20 minutes. Then Ivocall will remember that. This is how easy it is to actually add new buttons here as well, and then I can right click it and move the button up. So we have it where we want to. Move it up. There we go. Alright, this one here is when you have it's normally used when people say I'm not interested. You have all your data here, and then actually create a report afterwards, and that is very variable. Each time you add some data, even though that they say no, then you can create a report and say, now why did they say no, and actually create a new campaign afterwards. It could be not interested, no budget, call in 6 months. We can create a new one here as well, saying financial crisis. You can actually see how it looks like here when I type here. And we dial this one here as well. Now what is this for here down here? Well, it is if you actually want an extra status as well. Let me give you an example here. So it could be if it's financial crisis, no money, and no loan. And then it actually creates an extra drop down menu. Oh, I just need to put it on here, add it here, like this, and we limit it to the list, like this here. And then when you use financial crisis, the telemarketer can also say, well, it's because of this thing here. Again, it's so you can add all the data that you want. Now the yes window, I think we just call it yes, it's a bit different. Because you have all the pop-up elements here as you can choose. Sometimes you need to sell more than one thing. So let's just go through the elements that you can add on. All the elements are drag and drop. And right now I have added a combo box, and if I take a look at this, right click it, I can see that we are selling birds. I have a bird list. Now let's add something extra to it and say that I want a link box, and we say what kind of bird do we want, or the color of the bird. We call it color here. I add a label and move it up here. Now actually what I'm doing here is exactly the same thing as the telemarketer will actually be able to see this when I've saved this here. Color. All right. Okay, and I click this one here. Now this is a link box. As you saw, I click this one here. A combo box is a normal drop-down menu. A link box is a bit different. Let me show you how. Because it relates to another element in the page, and we want the birds drop-down box here. We call it color. Color link. Now when you link to the scroll box here, it says okay, if it's bird 1, we can say bird 1 red color, add line, we say bird 1 again, add a line, now the bird 2 we only have in black. This column here is that if it has a value and you want to sum up a value, it could say that, well, the red color is worth 100 euros, then you can add it in there, and then you can actually see it in your statistics afterwards. Alright, so let's just take it a look at this. So this is just a test of our sales window. So right now we have nothing in our link box, but if I choose something, the bird 1 here, then I can actually choose the bird 1 values here, and if I click bird 2 here, then I can click the bird 2 values here. Now this is super smart because you add extra add extra data quality to the telemarketer, that you don't need to type anything in a text box where everything can go wrong. This is very easy to use, and it's highly flexible. You also have checkboxes here. If you click this one here, you have a checkbox, so they can click newsletters. It could be extra products. You have dates, date menu if you want to add that as well. It could be you could create this one here and saying date for delivery of the bird, and we call this one B date. All right. We also have a special part for the appointment booking. I will not show it to you here. And the last part we have are some extra windows here. You can click this one here. If you use this one here, you can actually make the marketer, it's very easy for the telemarketer to add an extra lead to the system. You can send confirmations by emails if you have created an email. You can send an SMS, or you can have an internet panel. This is very smart. If, for example, if you have a survey for some kind of survey and you want to use a web survey and add it to the dialer, then you can click this one here, and as you probably can see, we add a window here, internet window. But the smart thing is that it is a dynamic internet window, so depending on what you actually what kind of lead that you have found, you can actually use the data there. Let me show you here. It could be, for example, times. This is the times, for example. Then I could actually add some fields in here. So we had some kind of, so we add a dynamic URL. Please take a look at the internet tutorial that I created here. And you can see how it works. It's super smart. You can integrate anything with that lead. But just for the tests, we just click this one here so we can see how it goes. Here. We save it. It's a very small internet panel. And as you can see, we have the times internet panel here. All right. I just remove this one again. The last thing you have are terms. They are super good. For example, if you want to hide something for the telemarketer, if it's getting too crowded with all the buttons, it's super smart to use. First of all, just let me show you how it is now, and then we're going to create something. Right now we can see everything here. So let's change this. So I want to hide this one here as default, and I want to hide this color here as default. All right, I save it. Right now it's hidden, and then it could be super smart that if I chose something, then the box here would show up. Let's try to do that. So I use this one here, and I say when the field birds are or is anything but nothing, then show the fields of fields, and then it should be the color that we had, the color and color link. And then when birds are equal to this nothing, then hide the fields to color and color link. Now these two here, that it was the components that we had here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Right now it's hidden. If I click something here, it should be shown. Show fields, color link. Oh yeah, I use this one instead. Bird 1, then we show the fields, and then we close it. Like this one here. Now what am I doing wrong? This is really, really interesting. Ah, it's because I used this one here. All right, okay. Just click this one here. There you are. So it's, of course, it was because that I chose different kind of fields for this, but it has to be birds, both of them, of course. So take a look at it now here. It's closed, and then when I show this one here, it will be here. And if I unclick it, it will be hidden again, and so forth. So this is a very, very easy way how to actually hide the fields. So it seems more easy to administrate. All right, let's take a look at it at the telemarketer's point of view. We'll save it into the database. So here we are, and we fetch a new number. And as you can see, we have the not home. We have only this button here now. We have the what we do else, the appointment. We created our 20 minutes call. The no please. We had our crisis. I cannot click this one here because I need to say no money. And this one here, we just pick a new lead here. And let's say that we had a sale here. I click the birds. I click bird 1. I click a red bird, and it's delivered this date. And we need a newsletter as well. Alright, this was a short tutorial of what you can do with the buttons and how flexible it is to use the system. Thank you for watching.